November 20th, 1776 AD, the Battle of Fort Lee. On November 20th, 1776, the British and Hessian armies captured Fort Lee from the Americans. Fort Lee was located across the Hudson River from Fort Washington, which was constructed in the early summer of 1776 to protect the Hudson River from a potential British invasion. On November 16, 1776, a large British and Hessian force captured Fort Washington after several hours of fighting, despite the defenders vowing to fight until the last man. The well-stocked fortress was a heaven sent for the invaders, as the Hessians renamed it Fort Nipphausen. General George Washington hoped that the defenders of Fort Washington could hold out until nightfall so they could escape under the cover of darkness, but Colonel Robert Magaw surrendered in the late afternoon. General George Washington could only watch across the river in the safety of Fort Lee, knowing it would only be a matter of time before the British would knock their fortress out as well. Fort Lee, originally known as Fort Constitution, was built on the top of the Hudson Palisades, the highest location on Manhattan Island, along with its sister Fort Washington. The fort was renamed Fort Lee after General Charles Lee in the fall of 1776. Washington ordered General Hugh Mercer to construct the fortress on the crest of the Palisades on July of 1776. A ferry was used as a supply line between the two forts. The two forts were very effective in stopping the British from running ships down the Hudson River, prompting the British General Howe to scheme up a way to knock out both forts. The plan to take out Fort Washington pretty much fell into his lap when one of Colonel Magaw's aides stole the fort's blueprints and gave them to the British. Unfortunately for the Americans, Fort Washington easily fell to the British, and it would only be a matter of time before Fort Lee would suffer the same fate now that the British Royal Navy controlled the Hudson River. General Howe ordered Lord Cornwallis to clear the rebels from New Jersey without a major engagement and do it quickly before the weather changed. The British Army, along with the Hessian force, led by Colonel von Dott, ferried their soldiers across the Hudson on the night of November 19th. Over 5,000 soldiers crawled up and carefully trudged along a trail that led up the Hudson Palisades and into Fort Lee. The fort was defended with less than 2,000 soldiers. Washington ordered General Nathanial Greene to evacuate the remaining troops from the fort and retreated by crossing the Hackensack and Passaic rivers, leaving New Jersey and into the safety of Pennsylvania.